Good evening. My name is Sean Hurley, and I am president of the Del Valley Education Association, the largest and only active employee organization in this district. DVEA is a union. We are part of TSTA, and we have an agenda. Our agenda is the following: to secure and uphold an environment for students which is built on a pedagogical foundation that promotes learning and achievement. To secure and uphold a work environment for employees that rewards their labor and investment. And to protect and defend our public schools from attack by privatizers who wish to return to the days of education for a wealthy elite. And so, Superintendent, present members of the board, we're on a long journey, on a long road. And I want to give credit to this board for traveling with us on so many things. In the past 5 years, we've seen eye to eye on several issues. We've seen eye to eye on contract language, contract renewal timelines, due process for hourly employees, grievance policies, and teacher evaluations. We acknowledge you and we appreciate you. I trust, however, you'll understand when I say that there's still road left to travel. So let's travel together toward professional pay for professional work. The average teacher's salary in Del Valley is $49,000. According to the Department of Labor, this is $26,000 lower than the average salary in the Austin metropolitan area for people holding a bachelor's degree. Incurring tens of thousands of dollars of debt for a degree in education demands professional pay. Average teacher pay in Texas trails $6,000 behind the national average, while starting pay in the Austin area, Del Valley included, runs $6,000 short of starting pay in other metropolitan areas of Texas. Yet the Austin area has the highest cost of living in the state. For the past 3 years, Del Valley ISD has sponsored what is known as its Survey of Employee Engagement. Now, this is your data, not ours. This is your data. For 3 consecutive years, pay has received the lowest score in terms of employee satisfaction. And we can see from this slide that in 2013, the score for pay was 265, far lower than any other category. Again, 1 year later, in 2014, pay is still the lowest with a score of 259. This is even lower than it was in 2013. Now we're in 2015, and the satisfaction score for pay is even lower than it was in 2014. Point here being that the 3% midpoint raises are clearly not resonating with employees. Much more work on pay needs to be done. The data on this slide goes to the heart of this issue, and teachers already know this. We can feel it. Pay, in real terms, has not progressed. In actual fact, the real value of our salaries has fallen. High teacher turnover has been an issue in Del Valley for over 20 years, and it costs a fortune to this district. Back in 1998, former Del Valley Superintendent Jim Stewart acknowledged this problem to the media, saying, "We've been losing so many of our staff members to other districts. We're trying to improve those salaries to try and stop the bleeding." Sadly, salaries remain the #1 teacher concern, and the bleeding continues. 1 in 5 teachers left our district last year. So here's our proposed salary schedule, and it'll be familiar to the board members that spoke at a forum that we held during their elections. It runs from $50,000 to $70,000 and maxes out after 15 steps. It ensures career earnings are increased substantially, and it allows teachers to gain access to the professional economic class. It incentivizes teachers to stay and not leave. If adopted, gone will be the days of fleeing teachers and instructional instability. Our concerns do not just apply to salaried employees. If our district is a wheel, and hourly employees are the spokes in that wheel. And just like teachers, counselors, librarians, and nurses, they too need a meaningful wage increase. They need fewer pennies, they need more dollars. We're calling for a $1 an hour increase for these employees. Now, for years, it has been said that money is tight, yet the data on this slide shows that the opposite is true. Every year, much less is actually spent than is budgeted. In Del Valley, projected deficits miraculously become healthy surpluses. The district has been maintaining fund balances 3 times greater than the Texas Education Agency recommendation, which calls for a fund balance between 12 and 20% of budgeted expenditures. This level of surplus is simply not necessary. Budgets reflect values. Are these our values? So finally, it's time for greater investment in salaries. It's time for greater investment in employees that will grow this district. It's time to take the lead, and it's time for you to go the extra mile. Thanks for your attention, everybody.